Hey, and we are back, y'all. What's up? Welcome to Mouthful TV. Welcome to the newest episode of Mouthful TV, where we talk about the latest topics. We keep it real, we're keeping it raw and uncut, and just talking about things that our audience and everyday people are going to want to know about. I am one of your co-hosts, Star Ford. Please be sure to follow me on IG at I am Star Ford. Hey, y'all. Introduce yourselves.
Big Wavy. I'm gonna go ahead and slide in on Black Caesar. Follow me on all social media platforms. That's Black Caesar with an underscore. Okay, get at me for sure.
I am Ashe. You can find me at Sincerely Ashe, and happy to be here again.
Yes, we are happy to have you. Thank you. And don't forget about our other castmates. We have Des the Photog and Jennifer LaShawn. So if you follow us on all social media platforms, you'll be able to find all of us. We're on Facebook. We are on Instagram. There's so many more, but don't forget, we actually are on Clubhouse now. So after the show, be sure to follow us on Clubhouse where we're keeping the conversation going. Yes. So today, there's a few announcements before we get into our subject. A Taste of the Culture, our sponsor, do not forget about them, where they're serving you with the latest surprise box of your wine, liqueurs, spritz, anything that you need. It is 20% discount when you use the discount code Mouthful. So again, if you follow us on any social media platform, you will be able to find out more about that membership. It's so bomb, y'all. Have y'all looked at the list of all the vendors?
Yes.
I definitely been tapping in. Definitely been tapping in. I like the tequila. You know what I'm saying? I got a little bit of that guala in my system. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? So I like the tequila. Get me right every time.
look at you. Right. Shay, do you have a preference?
Tequila.
Oh, okay. All
Please.
right, look at y'all, heavy hitters. You know, I got to keep with my bubblies. I like the sparkles in the bubblies, so they do us well. So be sure to check out A Taste of the Culture. And also, don't forget, March 27th, we're having our virtual pop-up shop. And guess what? It's virtual and it's free. And we have so many dope vendors already, you're not going to want to miss it. So be sure to sign up for that so you can come and support our small businesses. All right, so speaking of small business, we're doing something a little bit different today where we're not going to have our small business owner on, but don't forget every Tuesday we do Small Business Tuesdays. So you won't miss the beat if you just log on every Tuesday and see what's happening. But today we have a sensitive and heavy subject, so we just wanted to do our main focus on that subject. Are y'all ready for it?
Hey.
I know. Okay, so forgiveness.
Mm.
Yeah, just that one word in itself, there's so many things we could do with that. Forgiveness. So I'll start with the cliche of you can forgive, but don't forget.
Right.
And does that still hold true today? So it was so funny when we decided on this topic because even in my 30s, I'm figuring out I'm still learning how to not necessarily forgive, but not hold on to it and not be triggered by the hurt that people have caused. And it's so crazy. I'm actually going through it, just transparency right now, with one of my best friends. And this is something that took place where I felt like this person hurt me years ago on a trip that we were at, and just daggers were thrown with words, you know, and the tongue is a powerful weapon, you know, like they say. And I felt every one of those daggers. And I never thought we'd be in a place where we are, where our friendship is still going. However, I just came to realize that it's not that I haven't forgiven her, it's that it's triggers now. Like, you get triggered by things to know, will that person have the opportunity to hurt you again like they have? And you want to protect yourself, you know, so you can't help the emotion that you might feel when something kind of pops up and makes you remember, like, damn, you did that to me before. Like, will that happen again?
So do you feel like you are truly forgiving someone if you are still being triggered by that situation?
I toggle with that. And I honestly, Shay, I do feel like I have forgiven that person. I just feel like, and I'm sensitive by nature, but I just feel like being a human being, when you just have that caring spirit and that emotion, and it goes back to expectations, right? I would never do that to anybody or that person. So when little things just kind of click, you're just like, whoa, wait a minute. And it just takes hold of you. But I try in my heart, and I hope I can truly say that I have forgiven the person, and I'm working on those triggers, because the shit sucks. Like, it really does. Because in a sense, it really does take a hold of you. And I don't want that. Like, that's weird. Like, who wants to hold on to hurt? You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think one thing that's very heavy is that we as people, we focus too much on being reactive and not proactive in a lot of situations. You know what I'm saying? And we really do need to focus on how can we make amends, and regardless of how they have wronged you, because some people, you do allow into a space where only they can violate you in such a manner, what I'm saying, such as your best friend, i.e. your boyfriend, i.e., just somebody that you confide in, so it's like, I think that we do have to be proactive with our approach, what I'm saying, and forgiving. So it's like, okay, I forgive you, but how can I not be triggered by you doing a similar action or just showing anything, that has taken me to that dark place before. So I think it's kind of trying to find that balance, but we definitely need to kind of find those coping mechanisms,
Yeah, definitely, because liquor can't be one of them.
No.
You gotta lay off the juice. There
I,
you go. Drink the water.
I think for me, I be needing to pray. I be really needing to pray. I be needing to go to therapy because I will cut somebody off and
Yeah.
not look back. And I try not to be like that. Now, on some situations, I feel like I can be too forgiving, and I like often let a lot of stuff slide, and that's when people start to take advantage of you. So I think on my like self-love journey, just cutting stuff out, just bye, bye.
Yeah.
I don't I don't have the energy anymore to mend those relationships from people that have crossed me.
Right. So has there been any relationship that you've said bye to that you actually kind of think about and miss and might want to restore?
No,
Nah. Okay.
Oh, she cold. She cold.
Yeah. Hey, but
She's
that's real,
I'm
right?
gonna leave it right here and no thanks. Okay.
Right.
For sure. I think it's kind of crazy. So I've been into a lot of situations where, okay, I'm very closed off. I'm like, I consider myself an introverted extrovert. So like, I love people, but I'm also like, hey, don't talk to me either. You know what I'm saying? So like, I can be standoffish when I need to, but like, as far as just forgiveness, so when I played college football, and I was very, very involved in football. I was one of the top players in the state of Texas, coming out of high school. So when I got to college, it was a big deal for me. So my mom ended up getting cancer. My grandma ended up being very, very sick, to the point where she about to pass away. So my parents didn't tell me that my mom had cancer. My mom's a traveling nurse. She's been a nurse for 15 years. So it went from her showing up to all my games to now I'm like, Pop, where's mom at? Oh, she had to travel this weekend, or oh, she's busy, or oh, this, that. So then my grandma stopped showing up to my games. And I'm just like, okay, something's going on because, like they come to all my games, then come to find out my mom had thyroid cancer, you know what I'm saying? And like she ended up like losing a bunch of weight, and she was like near the point of like, near passing away. My family decided not to tell me because they wanted me to be focused on football. And I'm just like, this is just a game. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my mom. So it really just, it hurt me that, regardless of y'all trying to, be cognizant of my feelings, I need to know that, I need to know what's going on with y'all near and there. And then also I had a game, it was a homecoming game. I balled out and I was like, okay, hey, as soon as after every game, I call my grandma in Mississippi, my great granny, and then come to find out, they told me she was okay. I called her after the game and they were like, your grandma passed away before your game. We didn't want to tell you because you was playing. You know what I'm saying? And so it took me a long time to get back right. I didn't talk to my family for almost 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Because I was kind of broken. You know what I'm saying? Like I just didn't understand why they wouldn't involve me in that type of information, regardless if I needed to be focused or not. I needed to be involved. You know what I'm saying? not disassociated. So
Yeah.
I had to learn to forgive them. I had to learn to tell them, hey, you know, I love you, and I understand why. I wish you wouldn't have, but I understand why, you know. And I think that was just the biggest thing I gained from it was perspective, you know, wanting to protect somebody's feelings, but you know, protecting those feelings isn't always, you know, what's best for everybody, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that point though where you said, okay, I need to reach out to my family, like I've healed or I'm at a place where I want to communicate and let them know?
Not even to take it deeper, but I had graduated and I hadn't talked to my family. Like I graduated and I was just teaching out in East Texas, and my cousin out in Mississippi, him and my cousin Moogie got arrested. So him and my uncle got murdered. It was a double murder. They got killed by a cat that just, you know, decided to pull up on them and shoot them in broad
Yeah.
daylight. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And, you know, they called me and was like, your first cousin got killed. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, we all got to go to Mississippi. So we rode together. So it was 8 hours and nothing but time, space, and opportunity to
Wow.
address our issues that Black people don't really get to address. You know, sometimes we kind of just sweep it under the rug or don't talk for 6 months or a year. So like I was like, why wouldn't y'all tell me what was going on? Like I was mad, you know what I'm saying? The whole trip, I like probably by the time we got to Shreveport, I was like, so what's up? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah. So,
Right.
but that's when we came to that point where we had to just really discuss what was taking place. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's beauty, but it's crazy how tragedy brought that opportunity,
Right.
you know, when you think about it. Going with the family aspect, I know for me, my biological father just was unfortunately just not a great parent. Like some people, unfortunately, just aren't meant to be parents. Like they make children, but they just don't do a good job at being there. And my biological father was one of those people. And, you know, you're no matter how old you are, you're still the kid in the situation. So it's like I've always been taught, you know, be the bigger person, don't go to bed mad, those type of things. So even though we weren't in the same household since I was just a little thing or whatnot, still trying to reach out, still trying to be the bigger person, talk to him, etc. And it just wasn't reciprocated. I think he wanted to be a good parent, but it just wasn't in him. And it wasn't until his funeral where everybody, you know, started going into the church or whatever. And I stayed at his, you know, his casket, and I had a talk with them right then and there. And it was so pure that I knew that he heard me. And I said, I forgive you. You know, I forgive you for how you treated my mom. I forgive you for not being there, for how you treated, you know, my brothers. Like, I want you to know I forgive you. And I know that even though it happened in the afterlife, that there's a piece there for me and for him too. And then to take it further, it wasn't until probably around like 2010 or something, I was going through some things off a dude, just lost my mind, right? And I was crying and I was just a mess. And out of nowhere, I heard my biological father's voice, and he said, your mother raised you better than this. Get it together. You know what you had to do. And I just froze, because it's like, damn, you were never here for me in your flesh, you know, in life right now, but in the afterlife, I hear you clear as day, like right there. I remember in my right ear. And I was just like, okay, and thank you, you know. So it's just like I tell people that are going through it with their parents or, you know, guardians or whomever, you know, try to have that peace before, because you just never know what happens or what's going to happen.
So unfortunately, I can speak on that situation. My brother was just recently killed, and my dad and him didn't have a relationship. So they hadn't spoken in 2 years over something so small. And it's unfortunate because my dad is really hurting off of that, like regret of not talking to my brother in 2 years. Like
Yeah.
me personally, I'm okay. I'm okay. But I'm okay, like, on the fact that, you know, we didn't end on terrible terms like that.
Yeah.
So I just was like telling my dad, like, call him, like, it's so petty, call my sister, call, never did. So I'm like, that's really unfortunate, that it did happen to you. So life is short. So in a sense, I do like to forgive people. I try my best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, not everything is forgivable,
Yeah.
but for the most part, try to forgive, because life is short.
It is. It is.
Hey,
And
Star,
we're
Star, can
giving
I ask you
you
a
hugs.
question? I just want to ask just because just kind of you going into the aspect of like kind of like with your father. So do you feel that that moment that you had with him at his casket, did that give you like real closure? And then do you feel that you take any aspect of your relationship with him, into your new relationship, with your man, with your newfound lover, what I'm saying? Not newfound lover, but
Right.
what I'm saying, but with your
Wait a
man.
minute. No. For me, honestly, even before talking to him at the casket, I was at a peace because I know my heart and my intentions and what I tried to do was pure. And unfortunately it wasn't reciprocated. He just didn't have it in him to be a parent. But I know I wasn't like, I hate my dad, da, 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 this and that type of deal. So I was at a peace. But I think for me to talk to him uninterrupted and know that you're going to hear me, there's not going to be distractions. There's not going to be something that you can have a rebuttal to. Like, you have to hear me and know that I hope you're at peace now. I don't hold any grudges and I forgive you. So it felt good. And I think because I wouldn't say I have daddy issues, but it does make you think like, damn, why wouldn't you want to be in my life something that you created? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like that shit, that might be daddy issues, but it makes you think. But I was one of the lucky ones, and I have an amazing bonus dad. I don't do the step, you family, but he's my dad, and he came in and he loved my mom unconditionally and her 3 kids, 2 which were teenage boys. So
Right.
yes, dad, you did that.
That's good.
But taking that into just like the relationships that I have now or whatever, it's good. It's a balance, because it's like, damn, even the people that you think are closest to you will hurt you. And that's unfortunate. And that's one of the things I'm dealing with my friend right now. And unfortunately, family and, lovers and whatever, people will hurt you, you
For
know, people
sure.
will hurt you.
That's why
Yeah.
it's easy to sometimes stay closed off and have that guard up.
That's true though. And it sucks that we have to feel that way, to be honest. Cause if y'all are like me, like deep down, you want to give everybody that just, yes, come here and love and everything. But like Chris said, I'm finding myself being more low key and not going to give people, that opportunity. Cause we know I don't want to go through that.
Right.
So
You definitely gotta be you have to be cognizant of who you allow into your space and who
yeah,
you allow, into your energy, because I'm saying I was like, no cap, I was saging this hoe earlier today. Like my whole
nah,
crib,
that's
I'm over
real.
here like Jesus, just you know what I'm saying? Because it's like you have to be very mindful of who you let into your space and for reasons, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody has an agenda, whether you know what I'm saying, it be positive, negative, you have to be mindful of your family, friends, everybody, and then like
That's
and just,
right.
and just the energy that they have whenever they do it within you. So I think that's very heavy. Yeah. I think that's very
That's real. The old folks didn't say that just to say that. Like they say, you can't let everybody in your house,
mm-hmm.
you
Real
know?
talk.
So that goes with your physical house, your dwelling, and your spiritual, for real. Because some people just don't mean you well. And that's messed up. But I wanted to switch it a little bit. I know we talked about family and we all opened up, and that's a beautiful thing that we do have this platform to vent and talk about those things. Now, what about the relationship factors? Have y'all had to forgive? Have you forgiven, Shay? That's the question for Shay.
I just be minding my business.
Okay. Okay.
No, there's been some instances where I've tried to forgive somebody that I'm in a relationship with, and it just depends on the type of hurt you put me through. Because, like I said, not everything is forgivable. I think like the main thing is like cheating for me. It's like cheating, lying, like those are big things where I'll be like, you do it once, you'll do it again. Like,
Right.
so to avoid me putting myself in those same situations, just about like I'll forgive you when I'm ready, but it'll be a forgiveness on my end and me saying to myself, it's not my fault that somebody chose to, their actions are
Yeah.
a reflection of who I am as a person. You kind of take that really, really hard, and it will really like bring you down is because you're like, why, like, what am I doing? Why her, or why?
Right.
So
What did I not do? Just all those, right.
Those questions. I mean, especially whenever like, I mean, just speaking from like a male perspective, I just know that that's something so important to a woman, just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like literally giving the man everything that you could have given him, and then still, being violated, should I say, in a way that only he can violate you because you trusted him in a way that you can only trust that individual. You know what I'm saying? Like it does cut deep, So I know that's not an easy situation, that especially the infidelity aspect. I know that's not anything nobody want to deal with. Yeah.
Man, it's crazy because it's like, why would you, when all you had to do, listen.
leave me alone if you are doing
Exactly. Just break up with me, leave.
go.
Oh,
People be having their own agendas. They be wanting to keep you, have you here. They know what you worth. You know what you worth. They try to do that thing on the side and have you in their back pocket whenever they get ready. It don't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
no. And that's the hurt. And then I've been through hurt where I've been, I don't want to say the other woman, but as a person had a situationship and put me in it. Now, till this day, I'm still public enemy number one. And it's like, first of all, I'm not trying, you know what I'm saying? They gunning for me. I'm not trying to be anybody's second, third, or fourth. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks because the dude put me in that situation where now I look bad when I didn't even know about what he had going on. Like, don't do that, And so that was hard to forgive because not only did you play me and play with my emotions, now you got a whole gang of girls that hate me. Like, damn, I ain't even do anything.
Stupid.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Fortunately, though, you the K's, so you got a big gang.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got a big gang with this. You gonna have some back door now. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't wanna, but yeah.
I think about just I've fortunately and unfortunately been on both sides of that spectrum. You know what I'm saying? I feel that the older I get, the more well-rounded I am, the more I understand, the broader my perspective gets. So when I was younger, although I didn't necessarily want anything, from this woman, you know what I'm saying? It was something that was in the moment. It was something that was temporary, but I still love my girl.
Why did you?
Sorry.
Why did you?
Okay, so I mean, there was no, like I said, like there was no particular reason. Like, so last time I was actually cheating. I was like 23. You know what I'm saying? I was like 20, 23, 24. I met a woman. I really liked her. You know what I'm saying? It was amazing, but there was something that I felt that was lacking. You know what I'm saying? Like I loved her, but I wasn't in love with her. But then I met a woman who, she just swept me off my feet and just told me all the things I wanted to hear and just whisper sweet nothings to my soul. So then whenever I like start tapping into her, and then she ended up dogging me out for her dude that she had back home, and I ended up breaking up with my girl. You know what I'm saying? Like everything just made
Full
everything
circle.
came full circle, and I gained that perspective that the whole you don't leave the one you love for the one that you like, because the ones you like leave the one for you know what I'm saying, like it made sense, you know what I'm saying. So then whenever I got into a situation, whenever I was taking a woman serious, and then I found out that she had extracurriculars going on, I couldn't do it. I was upset, yes, but I'm like, I have a career, I have things going on, so I'm not gonna go off the deep end, but it's just karma. And I understand that, you can't put anybody in a situation you're not willing to be put in yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You have forgiven yourself for those mistakes to where you don't like think when you get into another relationship that, the same thing will keep happening.
Nah, fortunately, I've been blessed to see my family. My mom and my dad been together since 1989. So I've been able to see a man and a woman be monogamous and go through peaks and go through valleys and have anniversaries and have near breakups. But they find that common ground because it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at a point where I want love and I just want somebody. I just want somebody who's worth, what I'm saying, going through that struggle for. That's one of Bob Marley, what I'm saying. You can see this nigga right here. Oh, there we go. You know what I'm saying? So like that's not Bob Marley. That's a dude from the Moonji tribe. But anyway, Bob Marley's one of my biggest inspirations. And like just one of his quotes is just like finding somebody worth suffering for. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my goal. I don't want to suffer, but at the same time, like if God intends for me to do that, just to prove my love, like I'll do that as well. So I'm in a different space than I was whenever I was, like I said, whenever I was square and not so well rounded.
Okay. Okay. Look at you growing up. Right. So Shay, you mentioned something really important, especially that we see in the Black community, is kind of being shunned for going to life coaches, counselors, therapy. So what do y'all feel about that?
Hmm.
Something I'm really close to my mom and my sister and my family, but some stuff I just cannot tell them. I don't want to, I need another opinion outside of their opinion. Like my
Right.
mom has always been straightforward. She'll tell you how it is, like, girl, pull it together. But going to therapy gave me a better insight of just, it's just different. It's just different because you can't talk to your family about everything. You just, not everything. But
Yeah.
I love therapy though. I
Yeah.
definitely recommend it because, you know, I just want everybody to get rid of that. What happens in his family stays in his family.
Right. That stigma is hurting us. Like, you need somebody to talk to and to sound off to that is a neutral party. I'm pro counseling. I love counseling. I have a counselor I go to. We went to couples counseling just to go get exercises, see the stuff we did have to work out, took each other through the ringer and did premarital counseling. And I mean, it's the best thing. I hate when people think there has to be an issue for you to go to counseling. Like, damn, what if you just want to get your life in, a better perspective or learn healthier ways of doing things or opening up, different mindsets you didn't know you had? Like, my gracious.
Yeah, a lot of it too has to deal, like a lot of, I wouldn't say I have issues or like daddy issues or anything like that, but that's what I'm about. But yeah, a lot of it does affect like that I didn't even know was going on or the way that I
Yeah.
was thinking, or processing my feelings or the way I reacted, like out of like it does have a lot to do with
Yeah.
that. And finding those things out in therapy, it helps because not everything is meant for to have a reaction.
Right. That's right.
I think that folks, especially Black people, we shun therapy. You know what I'm saying? And it comes from a place of, you know what I'm saying? One, just that it's a false narrative of solidarity. You know what I'm saying? Like secrecy isn't you know what I'm saying, like isn't compliance. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can still be forced to compliance within the household, you know what I'm saying, like based on whatever situation you're going. Like I don't want to get too deep into it, but whenever I was like getting babysitted back in the day, you know what I'm saying, like I was like sexually assaulted by my babysitter and I was a female. So I felt like, damn, at least it was a female who did it and not like a dude, you know what I'm saying? Who I was in a situation with, but like, you know what I'm saying? Family decided to, hey, let's keep that under wraps. Let's not go too deep in that, you know? And I think there's a false narrative of like forgiveness, you know what I'm saying? I think that like when it comes to family, we should be able to like address that shit, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, there's some things that like, that shouldn't be overlooked. You know, really, nothing should be overlooked. But you know, because everybody has different emotions, everybody has different sensitivity levels. You know what I'm saying? And we're all very, very like complex entities. You know. And but I just think that like I just think that we don't tap enough into just understanding that damn, you may have messed up, you know what I'm saying? Or like if I'm the faulty, so to speak, like
Right.
damn, I may have messed up and I need to address how and why I messed up and let you know that I understand I messed up. You know, because that's sometimes that's all we need. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just to hear that, it's to hear it out, hear you like verbally say, like, I wronged you, you know. But a lot of times we don't go that deep or we don't demand it, so to speak. Even as men, I think that like a lot of men go through shit and they think that we have to be rah rah and this and that, you know what I'm saying, for our point to get across. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's not like that, yeah. So anyway, yeah, like I was just saying, like I feel what y'all saying. I think that we really need to like just tap into this aspect, you know, of one just forgiving those who wrong us and by then just kind of forgiving ourselves too, because we might hold on to something because we feel that we may have done something to somebody, you know, along those lines or even within that same realm. And it's like, well, shit, they may not have forgiven us. So why should I feel comfortable for or forgiving somebody or asking for forgiveness? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're talking in our adult form, but we got to think about what, counseling and therapy can do for the younger people, and the little people type of deal. Like when we were younger and in traumas that we might have had, instead of saying, hey, let's keep it hush or keep it in the family, what would therapy or counseling would have done? Probably would have made the healing process, that much more.
Down to your kids. Like I feel like a lot of our problems come from our parents not healing themselves. And that's hard for anybody to deal with or go through.
Yep.
It's generational. And I know Big Boss Lady America don't want to be on the camera, but we was talking about just generational trauma. You know what I'm saying? And like she mentioned that, you know, and there's just things that we hand down to each other. Like I don't want to get too far into it, but I dropped a book recently, and then in there I have some, you know, I have a poem that's about being back home, and like I talk about leather lashings being laid to the soles of my feet. You know what I'm saying? They used to be like, hold your heels up, and you get your feet beat with switches, you know what I'm saying? If your ass act up, you know what I'm saying? Like, and think about, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like those generational curses and or those generational trauma or just anything that we pass down that we consider, you know what I'm saying, to be like an heirloom, you know what I'm saying? Is not always the same. So, you know, I think that is something that we have to focus on is what we have to be very intentful. You know what I'm saying? We have to have intention on what we're going to pass down to the next chapter of our family. You know.
Yes, definitely. Definitely agree. It is.
So
Go for it.
you can go.
No, you got it. Look at us doing the girl thing. No, you go, you go, you go. Oh, you go.
To talk about our word of mouth, which is Kirk Franklin. If
Okay.
y'all are not aware of the situation, his son kind of like blasted him since we're talking about parents and his which I didn't know he had a son. I didn't know he had an older son. I knew he had 3 kids with his wife, Tina. But his older son got on social media and played a conversation between him and Kirk Franklin, and everybody has something to say about it. Like, where do you? I don't even know because, yeah, I don't know. My mom never talked to me in that tone. Well, she has, but but it's a level of respect that you have that your parents have for you, you have for your parent kind of thing. But it did go viral. Everybody was talking about it. Did y'all hear about it?
I did hear about it. Of course, Black people, we got to act up on social media. So the memes and the quotes like stomp, yeah, we're going to stomp all right and all that. But did he call him a bitch ass name?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm
Man, he called him a ban. A
Oh,
ban.
okay, ban. Yeah, okay.
Or
Ban.
he could have called him a hand. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you.
Right. He may or may not have said something of that sort. So we're gonna leave it miscellaneous.
But he
So,
and apologized. But do y'all feel like he owed his son that apology, or do you feel like he owed social media that apology?
I feel like well, let me just say this real quick. I feel like with men, sons and fathers, they gonna go through that testing each other, or even younger, they gonna square up on each other just once and you test your dad out. So we don't necessarily know the dynamic that they've had before that. But my question is, why would he out his dad with the conversation? I'm just curious, like, what did he gain from putting that out there?
I think that he's really hurt.
Okay.
He may be really hurt because when you are hurting, you do all kind of crazy stuff to where you want that attention from your parents, or you lash out, you do stuff. So I don't blame him for doing that, but there is so many other ways that they could have gone about that situation, like counseling, therapy.
I had a question. I got a question for y'all.
Okay.
So before any of this happened and he released a video, have you heard any sort of I'm not gonna say MAFN because we're on the okay. Have you heard anything about his son being malnourished, beat, put out in the street, not being clothed properly, not being welcome to the church? Anything besides this? Before this?
Nope.
Okay.
Daughters on social media, like, love them.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is what I'm getting from that, because of clearly these are privileged children. I'm fortunate to come from a family who's like upper middle class. So, you know what I'm saying? We ain't really have to hurt for a whole lot, but I'm still a real one. You know what I'm saying? Neither here nor there. So you got to think this is Kirk Franklin's son. You know what I'm saying? This man has pretty well off. Okay. So for him to want to go out and put his father out, from what I'm receiving, means that there was some sort of disagreement. You know what I'm saying? And that he no longer is, whether in that well of wealth or what have you. But there's no reason for you to put your father out like that unless, you know what I'm saying, you have a vendetta towards him. And then that's even more blasphemous because we're talking, I don't want to talk about Psalms or Proverbs, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, honor thy mother and father. So if your father's put you in this position to where you're comfortable all these years and now you're 33 and you want to put out a tape, that's letting me know that's more of a you issue and not a him issue. And he's probably cussing you out because you need to hear that, because this man's 33 at the end of the day. They say his son like his man's like a teenager, just a grown man. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's what I got from this situation. So
I like both points. Like when you are hurt, yes, you do act irrationally, but we got to take accountability in this adult age type of deal. I mean,
Big age, 33. That we
it's a grown man.
yeah, I would want to hear the backstory of why he did it. If he is gonna say, I was hurt and I wasn't thinking, okay, but I want to hear that type of deal. I mean, you literally, like Chris said, I feel like you were going for a vendetta, something, and you wanted to take that dagger and say, here, dad, and right there,
Right.
and then he's famous.
And I'm like, who just keeps recordings of your dad talking trash to you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like that means you already had, you know what I'm saying? So
he had to have triggered him in some way to get him to let me press record.
Right. Like, what was the buildup?
That's true. I never looked at it like that. Thank you for that.
That's Black Seas. He.
I love Law and Order and like Sherlock Holmes and shit. So like whenever I'm watching stuff like that, I'm just like, okay, what's really happening? You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, I mean, Kirk Franklin could just be a hand, a HAN that we were talking about. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But I don't get that because of two reasons. Melodies from heaven. Okay.
Okay. Rain down. Yes.
Okay. This man made stomp. You can't do no wrong. He might as well be one of God's disciples as long as you, as far as I'm concerned, because Kurt Franklin can't do no wrong. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
was popping. We
Oh,
were
Okay.
what? Oh God. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there.
So is all publicity good publicity then? Did this help them? Did this hurt them? What do y'all think?
I think that more people were rooting for him than
Against them.
Mm.
Yeah. And he's human. You
Right.
know, I mean, he's a servant of the Lord, yes, but he is human. It's still flesh at the end of the day.
I'm just everybody was being all dramatic like Christians don't cuss. We cuss. We say bad words. We
Right.
feel like
You know
you
what I'm
want to
saying?
go low, I can go to hell. So what you want to do?
You know what I'm saying?
Now, what you want to
And
do?
speaking of going, our fans should make sure and go to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and also Clubhouse and follow us on all social media platforms and make sure to keep up with Mouthful TV throughout these coming weeks. Yes, Lord.
Right.
Lord.
Look at you. And don't forget to tell them what you have going on.
Oh man, so I've been very blessed and fortunate. I've dropped my debut book of poetry. It's titled "Lend Me Your Ears." It's available on Amazon. You can get it on iTunes, Apple Music. You can get it on Spotify. Title. I dropped the audiobook and
Title.
yeah, so yeah, no, you can get it anywhere. It's titled "Lend Me Your Ears." It's under my name, Christadi K. Woods. I do go by Black Caesar. You know what I'm saying? That's my performance name, but I'm just grateful. So, y'all check it out. If you get a chance to, just download that, listen to it in a tub, drink you some wine. Like,
Yeah.
you'll love it. You'll love it. I promise you. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for sure. Thank you, Miss Star.
Yeah, of course. We love to see it. It's been a pleasure with y'all. Now you can take us out.
All right, yeah. So, we're going to go ahead and just move and groove about it the right way. Okay. So, you guys just take it on over to Clubhouse.
You are too smooth for me.
Oh, no, I don't want to do y'all like that. Y'all follow us over the Clubhouse, okay? We're going to be continuing the party as we go a little bit deeper into some of these subjects here, okay? And we hope that you have a wonderful night. We're so grateful for all of the support that you guys have given us, and we just ask you to continue to look out for Mouthful TV in the coming weeks.
That's right. Bye, y'all.